Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you all had a great week and I hope you all have a lovely weekend, whatever you got planned, whatever you're doing. Hope everyone enjoys themselves. So I wanted to do this video. This video wasn't planned. I haven't posted about it on my story or anything like that. This video just kind of, most people that are living in the world right now, or unless you're living under a rock, know what's happened with the legend Britney Spears. You know, it's heartbreaking, it's sad, it's unbelievable, it's shocking, it's just like all those negative emotions. That situation is just that. It's really, really bad, and like most people who probably watched the Britney versus Spears documentary on Netflix, if you haven't seen it, I would advise you go watch it. It's sad, but it gives you a lot of information and it gives you a more clearer picture of the situation and what went on and what she'd been through. So I wanted to make a quick video kinda, discussing this and going over a few points in it. Like, as most people who know my channel know, I'm into conspiracy theories and, all that kind of stuff. Like, I love it. I could talk about it for hours, days, weeks. So I'm just going to get stuck in with this video. So I'm going to start off. So obviously everybody knows that before we knew this about, like, we knew she was, most people didn't know that Britney was under a conservatorship. And if you don't know what a conservatorship is, it's basically like, it's sort of very much the same as power of attorney. Now that very much means that it's for people that are mentally unwell or are older and have dementia, Alzheimer's, or just can't look after themselves and, can't really do much for themselves. So, they get put under I'm just going to sort my way. See, they get put under what's called a conservatorship. And this conservatorship, it's supposed to, help. It's supposed to help the person and take control of their finances, because they can't make, those big decisions like buying houses, their finances, shopping. They're meant to be put under a conservatorship. It's not an easy decision. You have to be really, really, really mentally away or mentally unstable to have your human rights taken away from you, because that's basically what it is. It's basically having your human rights took away from you and giving someone else that power basically over your life. I'm just going to stop quickly because I noticed you're probably wondering what the white stuff is in my face. I've just finished my work and I've just been out of shower and I've got a coconut oil kind of face mask thing on. So if anyone else wants to go and grab a face mask, grab a cup of tea, grab a coffee, some biscuits, and we'll just get stuck into this video. Like, let's just get talking. So Britney had been posting on Instagram for months, weeks, Project Rose. Now, this is what kind of brought it to people's attention. People had kind of thought that something was off with Britney. And to be honest, how people guessed that, I think it was by her Instagram or social media, but how people knew something was up, I don't entirely know. I don't know if it was just they thought that, the videos of her that they were seeing were weird, or I don't know what it was. But anyway, last summer sometime people started to notice that something with Britney Spears just wasn't right. There was something wrong with her. So, our fans and people alike had started commenting, under our videos and our pictures, like, if there's something wrong with you, wear a white top in your next picture, or if you need help, wear something red or whatever. And then Britney started to, like, wear white t-shirts, red t-shirts. So people were, like, freaking out, like, okay, like, something's definitely wrong with her. So people would start, like, posting on her social media again, like, in your next dancing video, make this face if you need help, and she kept doing it. Everything people were telling her to do, she needed help, she was doing it in her videos and her pictures. But sometimes with the way, like, our captions were wrote, it didn't look as if it was wrote by her. It was too squeaky clean, perfect, all over the place. It didn't seem like Britney, and people picked up on this too. So, Britney started posting things about Project Rose. Now, which makes no sense to some people, but Project Rose is actually a charity and helpline for members of sexual abuse, child abuse, human trafficking, and forced labour. Now, obviously, that's weird that's what that is, Project Rose. And did Britney know about this? She probably did, and that's probably her way of saying, hey, I'm being forced under my will to work. I've been kidnapped basically in my own home. Because the situation with Britney Spears, it is basically kidnap. This woman has basically been kidnapped by her team and her own father to make money. She was basically a cash cow. Basically, been forced to do concerts, stage shows, interviewed, and been forced to do it when she couldn't. Now, what baffles me is for somebody that's meant to be mentally unwell, Britney done the X Factor, interviews, 6 shows a week, a Vegas residency, teaching dancers new choreography. Now, if Britney was that mentally unwell and mentally unstable, she wouldn't be doing that much work and be having a Vegas residency that's like 6 days a week, as well as interviews. Like, there's no way. I think at the start, yes, she was having a breakdown and maybe she did need the conservatorship. But I really just think that after a while, I think Britney got better and stuff. And I think her management and her dad and people that she made money for just didn't want Britney to be back in control, because that meant she could pick and choose when she wanted to work. It meant that Britney could, choose not to work. And that means people would lose out money. And I think people benefited from her being under this conservatorship. I think a lot of people benefited from it. Now, when you really think about it, it basically is like human trafficking, because Britney has been forced against her will to do jobs and to work when she doesn't want to. She doesn't have any access to her money, no access to her passport, her cards, no access to anything. That is human trafficking. Gruesome as that is, basically that is what's happened to Britney. And it is so sad, because Britney has gave everybody joy for years and years. She's some people's childhood. I know she was mine, and I loved her, and I had her greatest hit album. And to think that somebody that's worked that hard since they were 15, 16-year-old, to be held against their will for 13 years after working so hard, it's shocking to me, and it hurts my soul that, these people got away with it for the length of time that they did. And there's a situation where it's like Britney wanted to buy a pair of like Skechers sneakers and she wasn't allowed. She didn't have enough money to do it. Like, bearing in mind, this woman's net worth is 60 million. Like, she has money for a pair of Skechers. It's just our team weren't letting her do it. I seriously think her dad is a serious narcissist and control freak, and I think he's a money grabber. And I think he exploited his daughter for everything he could for money, basically. And when you watch that documentary on Netflix, when it comes to everybody's interviews and people have to talk about the dad, no one wants to talk about him. Like, they all seem absolutely disgusted by him. And I think he was an abusive father. I think he's an alcoholic, and I think he's all about money. And I think he knew that he could control his daughter, and that he could control her money and use his money and her cars and whatever to his own advantage. And if you've ever watched the Black Mirror series and watched the episode Ashley O with Miley Cyrus, like, that's scary, because that's an accurate reflection of what Britney was going through. Like, she said she was forced to take medication against her will. She was forced to be put on drugs, and just, it's crazy. It's like modern day slavery. It's like kidnap, and how these people were getting away with this baffles me, and how judges, well, to be fair, I think a lot of the people that were on Britney's team at first, I think a lot of them were on the side of the dad and on the side of her team, and I think it was people that they had went out their way, to get, to, be on their side and to protect them and to keep them doing this fucking conservatorship and milking Britney for all her money. And when you look at her expenses, her dad was out spending her money, her sister was out spending her money. Jamie Lynn Spears is meant to love her big sister, out stealing Britney's money. And this girl worked hard, really, really hard, and her family have took advantage of her. The people that she's meant to trust the most and that she's meant to feel safe with the most took advantage of her. And it's just, I can't even imagine what it would have been like, because if you can't even trust your own family, like, who can you trust? And it's crazy that they got away with this conservatorship for as long as they did, because watching that framing Britney Spears and then Britney versus Spears, it's crazy the things that went on. And basically, like, Britney was dating this guy, and her and the guy had went out on a date, and he got a phone call saying, bring Britney home right now. And he's like, why? Like, we're not doing it. He's like, bring her home now. And he's like, no, I'm not bringing her home. We're enjoying ourselves. He said, if you don't bring her back right now, he said, what you've basically done is kidnapped her. We're in control of her. We have the power. This guy brought her back, and Britney was in floods of tears. You know, she got dragged out the car, crying, kicking, screaming. And the guy was like, I just couldn't believe what had happened. He was like, she get dragged in the house by her team. He went, and that was the last time I ever saw her. And that was, you know, heartbreaking to listen to. And for someone's own father to have that kind of control and to manipulate it and to, you know, take advantage of that, it's just, it's horrible. And to have worked as hard as that, and to have other people spending your money and telling you what you can and cannot buy, it's shocking. And not being allowed to go out or being made to work all the time. And she was obviously meant to do another Las Vegas residency, I think that was about 2 years ago, which she pulled out of because I don't think mentally she could do it. But our team were trying to force her to do it because then again, our team make more money. And it's crazy to think that monthly our dad was taking more money out of Britney's bank to pay himself than he was giving her. Britney was getting £2,000 a month of her own money, her own money, while our dad's taking like thousands and thousands a month, and other people are taking thousands and thousands a month. She's getting £2,000 a month of money she worked for. It's just, it's crazy. And you know, Britney deserved more back when she had her breakdown. Like, the media totally pulled her apart, and it's not right. But it's the same, like, the media always pull women apart, and they're always tougher than women, and women always get slated and are always the villain, while men are praised. And it's sick to think the world is that way. Like, women are praised for their bodies and their appearance. Men are praised for their brain and their wit, while women are sexualised on, you know, what their physical appearance can bring to the table. You know, times are changing, of course, but we're still not where we should be. I think now things like the papers and stuff do it very covertly. You know, it's they like to build women up and then knock them down. That's just the way it seems to be. And when you read magazines or papers or articles, when it's men, it's always, oh, such and such an actor or such and such a man opened this new business, and it's all about his business and his brain and, you know, and his, you know, his personality. And then when you read an article about a woman, it's all about her looks, what she was wearing, what underwear she was wearing, what her hair was like, what brand of clothing she was wearing, what her makeup was, and wigs and what so on. It's always about the outside and the appearance. It's never about their brain. And even with social media, men love to follow accounts that are sexualising of women, that sexualise women. You'll very rarely find a woman that feels the need to follow accounts of half-naked guys. But you'll find every second guy's page you come across on Instagram, no doubt, most of these guys, their followers are full of half-naked women. And men that claim that, oh, I'm all for women empowerment. Are you though? Are you really though? But do you not follow like 200 Instagram models? Do you not constantly like pictures of like women with their tits out? I think you do. You're kind of contributing to the problem. That's just how I see it. You know, I think we've still got a long way to go. And this thing with Britney Spears, you know, I don't think it's done yet. I think there's still a lot more to come out, and I think, you know, there's still a lot more for us to find out. I think it goes deeper, and I think the rabbit hole with this goes a lot deeper. And I think there's so much to be uncovered and so much that we don't know. Obviously, Britney got up in court and said what she had to say, which was good. And I think it was yesterday it got ruled that her dad is no longer a conservator, which is good. and after I think it's a period of 30 to 40 days, Britney can request to come off it, which I definitely think she should do. Who's going to run our conservatorship just now, I'm not entirely sure, whether that'll be Britney's own legal team or I'm not sure, but I did read that after 30 days Britney can request to no longer have it, which I think she should do because I don't think she no longer needs it. But it's good that her dad now, after 13-14 years, has been took off it. It's well overdue. It's about bloody time. It really, really is. You know, so much love to Britney, and she's a strong, strong woman, and I hope she comes out the other end stronger and wiser and even better than she was before. So this was a bit of a sad video, I know, but I hope this gave you guys a wee bit of information of the situation. And if you haven't seen the Britney versus Spears documentary on Netflix, I suggest you should watch it and try it out. I was, you know, tuned into it second by second, bit by bit. It was so interesting, sad and heartbreaking, but really, really interesting. You know, and it gives you the full picture of the actual situation. So I hope everyone enjoys their weekend. Everybody stay safe and stay gorgeous. Bye.